Folks, this is K5LY, and my name's Lynn. I'm in Austin. We get together here on the evenings of Wednesday and talk about the early days of single sideband. Let me see if there's anybody needs this frequency for any kind of emergency use before we kick it off. Anybody need the frequency? K5LYN. Okay, we've been doing this for many years now, getting together here and working on our vacuum tube radios and exchanging ideas on the air about how to keep them working. Buy-sell trades are appropriate if they're vintage radio related, and if you've got a radio that you're struggling with to try and get it up and run it on the air, this is a great place to ask for advice because there's a lot of expertise to be found here. Tonight, I'm on the first single sideband rig in the world that was commercially available, the multi-phase exciter, also called Central Electronics exciter, a 10A from the year 1951. I like to say that this radio went on the air when General Eisenhower was figuring on being president someday. And I've got it paired up with a Drake R4 receiver by way of a transceive adapter that I built, so I'm transceiving in the manner of the later vintage radios, and driving the whole thing to a very conservative Drake L4B on low power, about 300 watts. Try to stay out of my neighbor's home theater. I'm going to talk to some folks, and then we'll give it to Jay, and then we'll see if we've got another net control here, and we'll go from there. Hey, Barry, KF5YMF, are you still with us over there somewhere? K5LYN.
Yes, sir. Hey, Lynn, KF5YMF, thanks for picking me up. Hey, your radio sounds great, and signal sounds great. Hey, I'm on my Swan 500C, and turned it on after having it off for quite a while, and man, the thing is sitting, didn't have to tune anything. Anyways, I got the window wire going out, outside to an ugly-looking dipole, and that's about it. Shure 444 mic, and good to hear you. KF5YMF back to net.
Hey, you're going to like the recording, Barry, when you hear it. I don't know how it gets any better. Great to hear you, and thanks for hanging in there with us. Look forward to breakfast Saturday morning, okay?
I'll be there. Sounds good.
All right, El Nuevo, Mexico, 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Several of us get together. Okay, let's see if Dan's hanging out down there. How about WOZ? What do you say, Dan? K5LYN.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, and all the boat anchor aficionados here. Boy, I got a lot of noise here again tonight, but you seem to clear the air. Something changed, so that's fine with me. Name here is Dan. We're in the middle of downtown Houston. That's probably where all my noise comes from. And we're just running a Kenwood TS830, driving a homebrew amplifier that I put 3 13s into, about 1,300 watts. And the microphone's an MC50. And the antenna's just a simple inverted V. It's shaped like an elk because the center is on the corner of the lot. It's about 42 feet in the air. So that's about it from here. I've been working on different things all week and made some progress and maybe some not progress. But anyway, so far everything is working, I believe, here. KWOZ, thanks for letting us in, Lynn.
Hey, Dan, I got some traffic for you. Let me tell you this. You and I share the same problem, I think, and it seems to be worse in the spring for me. When I came in here and turned on the radio, I had an electric motor running on this frequency at S9. And finally, whatever it was turned off about 15 minutes ago, and my noise went down to S6, from S9 to S6. And it always goes away by midsummer. If you get any ideas what's going on, keep me posted, will you?
Yep. You know, it is interesting. Every now and then mine disappears when I key up and put a KW on the air. Like when you, just prior to you turning it over to me, it went totally away. It was down to about an S3 noise level, where it's normally about a 10 over when that thing is on. I have the feeling it might be my neighbor's washing machine or dryer or something like that. But, you know, it seems like when I key up and put some power in the air that it goes away for a bit. Anyway, good luck, Lynn. I'll let you know what I find.
Yeah, it's a similar issue here, Dan. If we could figure it out, we'd both come out ahead. Great to hear you. Beautiful signal. TXW, George, talk to us. K5LYN.
Hello, Lynn, and all around the net. for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week from WB5TXW. Here on the S-Line system, 32S175S3, the 30L1, the power supply, the speaker box, all lined up on the library table with a Shure 444 microphone using the 75-meter dipole, fed with 450 ohm twin lead out in the woods here in the side yard. Nice signals so far, quiet band, things are good, over.
Yeah, and your signal is spectacular. I'll tell you what, I say this about all my radios too, George. Let's keep all our fingers and toes crossed and hope they keep working this well.
Oh, yeah, I know, because, you know, I don't like to press my luck. I don't like to talk about having good luck, because, you know, I haven't always been lucky. All right, 7-3 all around net, and back to you, Lynn, WB5TXW.
Spectacular. Hey, Henry, I heard you a while ago. You hanging out somewhere down there, W5HHW. How about it, Henry? Well, Henry came by a while ago. Maybe he'll come back. CXG. Hey, Bob, talk to us.
All right, I'll do that. CXG from out here at San Angelo. We finally broke through yesterday and got an inch of rain. First time we've got any rain in quite a while. I know that's not much to the rest of you, but to us it was pretty welcome. Other than that, everything's about the same on the old 830 Kenwood going into the Dentron GLA 1000 little sweep tube amp and going into a rebuilt old tuner here. Big old Versa tuner. Never saw one this big before. This thing's as big as got the capacitor same size as the MT3000. And I've got a roll inductor to put in it, so someday we'll change it from a fixed inductor to a roll inductor. Other than that, everything's about the same. Wish everybody a good week. I'm hearing everybody extremely well. I'm glad it was tonight instead of last night. I probably wouldn't have heard anybody with all the static. Anyway, back to you, Lynn, and good evening to everybody. K560.
You're sounding great, Bob. And a curiosity about the storm. When you had it, did you have wind with yours? A lot of it. See, George and I were just talking. We both think we got about 1.5 inches. That's what my gauge showed. But the rain was so horizontal by the time it got here. The wind was blowing like a hurricane here. Did you have that, or was it just rain?
Both.
Both. All right. Yeah, it was quite a storm. We were glad to get it, too, and I'm sure the watershed that supplies Austin's water supply was taking it all in, too. I sure hope so. Great to hear you, Bob. Have a nice evening. Hey, I heard N5MOK. Mike, are you still lurking out there? How about it? K5LYN.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, everybody on the net. It's Mike up in Kilgore. Yeah, tonight I'm on my, let me back off that mic a little bit there. I'm on my old TS520, old Kenwood TS520. Going into a SB220. Get about, about 700 watts. Ain't driving too hard. We'll say them tubes. But anyway, old microphone is MC60. And no antenna is inverted V. That's why my temporary inverted V has been up for about 20 years. So, okay, everybody's sounding good. I got a lot of static up here, a lot of bacon frying sound like. But good signals up this way. N5. Yep. Okay, back to you, Liz.
Okay, Mike, I'm curious about something. I don't usually hear RF on your audio, but I'm hearing something that sounds like that. I'm not saying that's what it is, but is something different tonight that might be letting a little RF get in there?
Is it in there now?
Talk a little bit more.
Is it in there now? It might be this microphone, MC60. I think they've had that problem. It's N5, MOK, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, it's 99% better. What's the difference?
I insulated my finger from the microphone. I just took a rag and mashed the PTT with it.
All right, well, it made a difference. So we made some progress on that issue. Good to hear you, Mike. And yeah, it sounds much better. That's a small difference, but it was significant. Good to hear you. All right, let's see. KC5L. Hey, Tom, talk to us. K5LYN.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and everyone on the Boat Anchors Bed. This is Tom, KC5L of San Antonio. And tonight we're talking on the Central Electronics 200B with the D104 microphone, 600L amplifier, Johnson KW matchbox, homebrew doubled up about 15 feet, and listening on the R390A. And we're grateful for the 3/4 of an inch of rain we got last night. The winds were high, as everyone else has been reported, but it all worked out. There was no damage, and everything's fine. So that's about all I have here, Lynn. So back to you, KC5L.
All right, Tom, great signal. My 10A doing as good as yours, I hope?
Yeah, 10A sounds great. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, but yeah, sounds good.
Okay, yeah, this is the first time I've had this end of the shack online since I had to do all these antenna rearrangings over the loss of my oak tree that used to hold up my antenna. So it was good to get back here on this end of the shack and fire up the Central Electronic stuff. And your stuff sounds spectacular as always. Okay, let's see what's going on down in Gonzales. N50JB. How about it, Denver? Okay. Denver's taking a break there. How about, hey, Ed, N5JJI, how are you?
Oh, I'm great, Lynn. Thank you, and good evening to the net. This is N5JJI, Ed in New Braunfels, and we're cheating tonight. We're running a Kenwood 430 and into an LK 500, straight out through coax to an inverted V up about 45 feet. And every signal I've heard in here tonight is sounding great. So let's keep the ball rolling. N5JJI, back to net.
Sounding great. Sounding great, Ed. Beautiful signal in Dawson. Great to hear you. All right, WA5SL. Hey, Scott, bring us up to date. Over to you.
Okay, Lynn, thanks for picking me up, and good evening to everybody out there on the Boat Anchors net tonight. Man, I tell you what, I haven't heard a bad signal yet. Everybody's sounding good. I hope I sound half as good as everybody else. I'm on the Hot Water 12 tonight with a Shure 444D microphone, and I'm running that through the Yaesu FL2000B up to Ultimax double bazooka 8040, so it's a dual band. But that's all we're using tonight. Hopefully I'm making the trip over. Great signals all around. Thanks for picking me up, Lynn. WA5SL, back to net.
You know, that Hot Water 12 is one radio I've never owned, Scott, and I'm amazed how many of them are still around and still sounding great. We've had several on the net over the years, and yours is doing a beautiful job. Great to hear you tonight. Glad we're hearing you more often there. All right, I got two more on my list, Jay. I'll go ahead and pick them up right quick, then we'll throw it your way. I got N5DJP. Mike, did I get that right? K5LYN.
Yes, you did, Lynn. Thank you for coming back to me. I'm talking on my original ham radio, the first radio I ever bought. Has an inspection date of 1976 on it. Yaesu 101E Echo with all original tubes in it. I also have the digital display, the YC601, the speaker, and I have the matching antenna tuner, but I'm not using it right now. I'm using a Merck 2000A, and I'm running a SB200 that I picked up on the net here a few months back. What a buy. It has the original Citron tubes in it, and it's working great with this Yaesu. Also run it on my Kenwood, my TS570, I believe. Using a D104 microphone and a 80-meter loop, 275 feet long at 40 feet in the air. And that's about it. I'm in New Caney, Texas, and everybody is booming in here, 10 to 20 over. It's fantastic. The band's in good shape. Everybody's sounding fine out there for sure. Back to you, Lynn, there in the net, M5DJP.
Yeah, very fine, Mike. And I'm glad you made that comment about the original tubes in that radio. I mean, that just shows if tubes are managed correctly, they almost never wear out, you know. But if we put them in there with some bad caps or something like that, that'll melt the tube down. But if the radio's properly managed, the tube will just sit there and work forever. And you've demonstrated that once again. Nice signal. Okay, let me give one more pickup here, and then I'll give it to Jay. So WA5GES, is that right, Bert? K5LYN.
Yeah, that's right. This is Bert, the little town of Malamo. And we're not anchored yet, but we're about to drop it. We're kind of cheating a little bit. We're running a Kenwood 450 into an SB 220 into an old 2040 tuner to a loop antenna. Over.
Okay, it's doing a great job. Now, Milano, is that in Cameron County?
Milam County.
Milam County, that's right. Okay, I had the towns and the county mixed up. All right, you're not that far from me then. Great to hear you. And a question about your WA5 call. Is that an original one you've had since the 1960s, or is that a reissue of some kind?
Well, it's my original call, and I got it in 1962. And I worked to get it, so I just stayed with the same call.
Well, I had my original call. The reason I asked you my original call was WA5 Delta Uniform Kilo. And when the vanity call thing came around, I said, hey, finally I don't have to tell people that my name is Lynn with an L instead of Glenn with a G. I fixed it. Over.
Yeah, well, Glenn, I'm 86 years old. Over.
Well, okay. You're doing great, Bert. I hope I get that far down the road and join you there sometime. Great to hear you. Anything else for the net this evening?
Oh, that's it. Thank you for letting me get in. Over.
Outstanding. Very nicely done. KM5QS. Hey, Jay, take it away. K5LYN.
All right. See if this stuff's still working here. I think it is. Oh, boy, it's been great so far. This is Jay, KM5QS, and of course this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. Tonight, I finally got the old TS-820 resurrected. I'm speaking into an Electrovoice 664 Alpha microphone, going to the TS-820. I'm listening in a set of HS5 Kenwood headphones that's plugged into a R820 Kenwood receiver. It's hooked up in transceive configuration with the TS-820. And after I get through messing around with that stuff, it's going to a TL922 amplifier, putting about 1,300 and some odd watts into some ladder line to a homebrew antenna tuner, homebrew antenna up about 75 feet in the air. So hopefully it's working halfway decent this evening. All right, I have, let's see, I believe I've got N0 SED. Steve, go ahead.
Well, good evening, Jay, and all the boat anchors. It's K0 SED in Tyler, and tonight I'm on my trusty Kenwood 520 and a Collins 30 L1, a dipole up 40-odd feet. And everybody sounds great. Back to you, Jay. K0 SED.
Okay, Steve. You know, when I wrote that down, I knew something looked wrong, but I was concentrating on my pork chops, and that's what I get for, well, anyway, I did know better. Sorry about that, Steve. K0 SCD. How could I forget that? You sound great as usual. All right, Steve, we'll talk to you later. Let me see if Denver made it back. November 5, Oscar Juliet Bravo.
Recheck.
Recheck, go ahead.
Hey, that's Mike Kilgore in 5MOK. Y'all still getting that RE up on me?
I'm not hearing it, but Lynn, can you hear any?
No, it sounds good to me now.
Okay, I switched microphones. Just hear it. That other was a MC60. I put the MC50 on there. So, okay, thanks, Scott. N5MOK.
Okay, Mike. That can be cured. Usually, well, there's a floating ground on that MC60, and but you're depending on what you do. Does it have an 8-pin connector or a 4-pin?
It's 4-pin going into the radio.
Okay. What you would probably need to do is, in the microphone itself, the push-to-talk ground and the chassis ground are two different connectors, and they don't match up. That's where your RF is probably coming from. All you got to do is short them together, and usually it goes away. But anyway, that's what we've done before. So good luck with it.
Okay, they inside the base part where the push-to-talk switch is, the base part.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate it, Jay. N5, I'm okay.
All righty. Okay, let's see. Let me think. Oh, Henry, W5HHW. Are you back, Henry? Well, maybe not. How about N5KBP, Marty? Okay, how about somebody we hadn't talked to yet? Who else wants for the Boat Anchors Net? All right, let me get OZZ, and then I'll get Tango Foxtrot. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Don, WB5OZZ, New Caney, Texas, running an 830 Kenwood into a Heathkit HL2200 and a double bazooka at about 45 feet over.
Roger. Sounding great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Tango Foxtrot, go ahead, sir.
Okay, Jay, thank you. Well, W5 Tango Foxtrot. Name is Terry over here at Laurel, Mississippi. We've had some bad storms over here. Got a lot of noise. I'm hearing everybody pretty doggone good. I'm surprised. Back on the, always on the Central Electronics 100B, and it's still for sale. R4B receiver, driving a Heathkit SB220. The Homebrew double bazooka up in about 45 feet. Using Electro Voice 638 mic. Everybody sounding good. Thanks for letting me get in. KN5TS W5 Tango Foxtrot.
All righty, Terry. Yeah, you're sounding fine down here too. No problems copying at all. We didn't have, we had some pretty tough weather last night, but it didn't tear anything up for once. That was a good deal. Actually got 3 inches of rain. It's more rain than we've gotten in I don't know when. Peachtree's gonna love it. I hope they survive. Right now the peaches are only about the size of my thumb. We need some more water. But anyway, thanks for checking in, Terry. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
K5 Sierra Alpha Charlie.
November 5 Oscar Romeo Yankee.
Okay, Alpha Charlie.
Good evening, Jay, Lynn, Rusty, and everybody on the Boat Anchor Net. This is Kilo 5 Sierra Alpha Charlie, Norman in Nederland, Texas, where we got about an inch of rain wee hours of the morning. It was certainly welcome. And the problem is I'm always late getting in on the net because this is about the time of day when it starts getting cool enough to get out there and get a few things done in the yard. I kind of wish we were still back on standard time. It avoids that problem by getting dark a bit earlier. Nothing from here other than everybody sounding great tonight, and just happy to be able to check in with all you guys. Back to you, Jay.
All right, Norman, good deal. Well, you excellent signal as usual. Your quality is, you're maintaining the quality of your craft there, so good to hear you. Thank you, sir, for checking in. All right, next, Romeo Yankee, go ahead.
This is November 5 Oscar Romeo Yankee. Name is Tom in Dallas, using a KWM2A with the station monitor, driving a Collins 30L1 amp, putting about maybe 500-600 watts out into a Alpha Delta DXDD. It's a dual band antenna up in about 20-25 feet over.
Alrighty. A little bit of tune-up, but you came over it okay. Sounded fine. What? I missed your name.
Repeat that.
I missed your name. I got your call, November 5, Oscar Romeo Yankee, but I missed your first name.
First name is Tom or Thomas or Tommy. Any one of the three, just don't call me late for supper.
I understand. Boy, do I understand that. I got you now. I'll try not to forget that again. All righty. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Appreciate it.
Roger, yes, it's been a while since I've had this long. I just got the 30L1 back up and running. Had to replace the pins in it, and I did a little bit of work on the power supply, replaced some of the capacitors, high voltage capacitors in it, and put a new set of diodes in it. So hopefully everything in it will last for a while over.
Alrighty. Have you ever heard about that kit from what's this? That fellow in California, Young Kim?
No, I've heard of one, but I thought it was on the East Coast where you could buy the new boards and stuff to go in there, which are upgrades. But I just stuck with the old original board and everything in it. Just try to keep it as original as possible over.
Yes, sir. I understand. I had a couple of 30L1s, and that Young Kim, I think his call is Kilo 6 Hotel Mike. He owns a power supply company out there in California, and he builds a board. It's already populated. He sells it to you for like $69.95, and all you got to do is just stick it in there and wire it up. It's got a few extras with it, diodes and stuff too, but works like a hose. Anyway, in case you ever need one, he usually advertises on QTH every once in a while.
So Roger, that was K6H Hotel Mike.
I think that's his call. His name is Young Kim. I think he's South Korean or North Korean or something. But he lives in California.
All righty, well, I appreciate it. I know there's probably other people trying to get in. It's been a while since I've been on this frequency and had this equipment on. I usually stay in the listening mode about 90% of the time or more, and usually stay on the upper band somewhat. Know a few people on some of these get up on 40 and 80 are my main bands. I like to get up on 20 and 10 meters just when it's open, because you can work the world and talk to a lot of people you normally can't get a hold of. So anyway, take care, 7-3, and it's good to hear y'all on in 501.
Okay, Tom, no problem. We're here every Sunday, we're here every Wednesday night. Usually kick it off about 7:30, whether it's Central or Daylight or Standard or whatever. Anyway, but try to kick it off about 7:30. But and that's the story there. Thanks for checking in. We look forward to hearing you again. All right, folks. Who's next for the Continental Trade? This is not the Trader's Net. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
November 5, Papa Foxtrot 5, India, Echo, Charlie Delta.
Was that Papa Foxtrot?
Foxtrot, Papa Tango, Jay.
Okay, let me get Papa Foxtrot, and then I'll get the station ending in Tango next. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
Whiskey 5, Foxtrot, Papa Tango, or Forever Paying Taxes, whichever you prefer. Tonight we're on about 20 years in that antenna centers relating to a blend amplifier.
I couldn't hear about it.
To a C5RV outside. The amplifier from LK500 VCO I'm mixed up this line. I got a 32S1 transmitter, 75S3B receiver.
The microphone is the 626L, I believe it is. Or 630
microphone.
The setting microphone. And that's the situation.
He's kid SC200. About a good 700 here on this frequency.
JW5FPT.
I've got a spider dipole at 45 feet. And with that, that's about it. And you're having a good net. Sounds good over here. This is F5PF. Back to net.
Okay, Phil. Good deal. Yeah, it's coming in fine. Got a little bit of a double there, but it's amazing. I was able to hear both of you pretty much. You did edge the other fella out just a little bit, but thanks for checking in, Phil. We'll look for you again next week. Now, the other station that was visiting, sir, if you'd like to repeat it again, give me your call and go ahead.
Okay, W5FPT. Got a copy, Jay?
W5FPT, is that you?
Roger, Dodger, forever paying taxes. Name's Paul. We're in Jasper, Texas. And the rig is a TS520S running into a little amplified 18-1200 tuner going into a G5RB, the amplifiers an LK450 NTC, and the microphone the 626L. And I hope I made it back to you this time, Jay. Back to you, W5FPT.
Okay, Paul. Good deal. Yeah, that was propagation's just starting to pick up a little bit. So anyway, it all worked out. Good deal. Thanks for checking in. Let me check back and see if Denver's made it back yet. N5OJB.
Charlie Delta.
Well, I guess not. How about Henry, W5HHW?
We had KL7CD.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard something. He's in New Mexico. If you can hear him, go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
KL7CD, Mike, talk to us.
Sorry, I doubled.
KL7CD, talk to us, Mike.
Okay, Lynn, thanks a lot. I hope you're hearing me. Signals have started picking up the last 10 or 15 minutes. We're a little too far west to really get in like we used to could there in New Braunfels. Are you hearing me okay, Lynn?
I'm just barely hearing you. The sun has not set here. So I understand it's a little bit too early, Mike. Over.
Yeah, Roger. You're only about an S9 here, and the noise level's S8, so you're out of the noise. Hey, want me to check back in later or go ahead with the transmission?
Well, hang on. Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit later if you can do that, Mike. Over.
Yeah, Roger. I can certainly do it. Over.
Yeah, I'm barely hearing you. Jay, back to you. Were you able to pick him up?
Yeah, I could almost hear him. As a little bit propagation gets a little bit better, he'll be booming in. I heard him talking to some people on 3916 from out there a couple of nights ago, and he had a good signal coming back this way. I think he got his antenna up a little higher than it used to be. So check in check in before we close her down, Mike, and we'll probably hear you a lot better.
Roger.
Okay, I caught the Roger. All right, let me see. I've had quite a few here. Rusty, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you want to take a turn?
I will do that. I will take a few, then I'll jump back at Mike and see if he's there. I was hearing him fairly good, so I'll take a few check-ins, and then I'll go back and give just a hair time there. All right, this is WK5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. And we're running the usual stuff, the Kenwood TS590S, the Audio-Technica microphone, the Homebrew GS35B amp, the Homebrew fan dipole, for 4080 and 160 up at 50 feet. There we go. Okay, who's out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo Golf 5, India, Echo.
Oh, KG5, IEE, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Rusty. This is Randall over in Marshall. Hope everybody's having a good day and enjoying the cooler weather. Tonight I'm using the Drake TR4, just barefoot, and using a D104, and it's going into an instant half wave up about 25 feet. That's about it for me here in Marshall, so we'll turn it back over to you, KP5 IED.
Okay, Randall. Well, you're making a trip from down there from Marshall on your Drake station. It sounds good. And barefooted is enough. Although a little bit of fire in the wire would be nice, but that's good enough. I heard everything you said. Appreciate you checking in. We'll catch you next week. Okay, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Anybody out there? Anybody anywhere for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Well, okay. KL7CD, go ahead and make a transmission, Mike.
Okay, I'll give it another whack. So tonight I'm on the HT37 Helicopters transmitter. Receiver is a Drake 2B, and the amplifier is an old Gonset ESP201. It has four 572Bs in the final, and I'm making about 500 watts. O-tuner, it runs via coax up to a reconstructed dipole that came down due to heavy winds during the big fire. Anyway, it's up about 45 feet, which is a good bit higher than it was before. I blew up an SB201 last night. One of the filter capacitors in the power supply cut loose. Let out that white stinky smoke, and I pulled it down. It has a Harbach power supply board in it, which was done really well as far as installation. You would think the capacitor would have lasted longer. I have no idea how old these capacitors are. Anyway, I sent a message off to Harbach to see if they still have these capacitors. They bolt right into the board, so change out is real easy. I'm a little leery of changing one, and maybe should be changing all six. And I'm assuming no diodes have been taken out. Anyway, that's what's going on here. Weather is absolutely beautiful. High today was about 73, and down in the 60s at night. Clear, sunny, bluebird day. That's about it from here, Rusty. Back to you, KL7 Charlie Delta, Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Okay, Mike, I got everything you said there. And one thing I can think of on your 200 is, I believe on that Harbach board there's a 0.82 ohm resistor. A lot of times when the capacitors go, you'll lose your high voltage and you'll lose that little 0.82 ohm resistor. You might want to check that before you fire it back up, and I agree with you. I think I would replace all of them. Anywho, everything sounds good. The HT37 sounds really good there, so appreciate you checking in, and we'll catch you next week. All right. Anybody else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Well, the fish aren't biting today, Lynn. So I guess I'll throw it back to you. This may be a little bit shorter net there. K5LYN WK5R. Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, Rusty, we've talked to a mess of people, and hearing Mike before the sun even sets in Austin, Texas is quite remarkable. So we've got some stuff going here. How am I? Am I on the right frequency?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a very early station from 1951, and it takes a little attention to keep it on 3870 here, and sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I don't. This is K5LY, and my name's Lynn. Who else would like to talk vintage radio this afternoon? I'm listening. Well, maybe we have talked it out. We'll go around the table one more time and see if anybody else needs to be picked up. Maybe somebody's out there that's not hearing me. Let me take one more standby and see if anybody else wants to talk to me. Failing that, I'll give it to Jay. K5LYN, listening. Oh, what a great net it was tonight. Had a lot of fun. This is the first time I've had this station on since I had to rebuild everything around here after losing my 80-meter loop. And we're getting back in the mainstream here. Jay, over to you, K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. Yeah, it's been really neat. I've appreciated having the 820 back on. It's been down for a few weeks, and finally got her going. Just a little matter of a little maintenance, something which I probably should do more often. Why do we always wait till something goes poof before we fix it? Oh well. Anyway, all right, folks. This has been a good net so far. Had quite a few really nice sounding stations, and it seems like it's not quite as dry here as it was. That helps a little too. Is there anyone we've missed? Someone who'd like to check into the net? Come now, please.
Well, I'll check in from up here at Tulia, K5TUE.
K5, I'm sorry?
Kilo 5, Tango Uniform Echo.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, just checking in. I haven't been on here in a while, so I thought I'd say hello. This is Brian up here in Tulia.
Okay, Brian, good deal. Well, thank you for checking in. We, we're here every Wednesday, just playing with these old rigs, so thank you, sir.
Hey, Jay, I've got a question for him.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Brian, I used to live in the Texas Panhandle. I'm warning in the drought. How are the sandstorms up there these days? K5LYN.
You know, those haboobs push things around a little bit around here, Lem.
Okay, well, you don't have to. See, I grew up there in Lubbock in the 1950s, and way back there, sometimes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you had to turn the lights on in your house because it was dark outside because of the sand.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we had the 90-mile-an-hour winds up here, and then Monday night we had a tornado down there at Morton that was sort of taking a bead on the Panhandle here. We're getting our share of severe weather.
Yeah, I had family in Morton. They farmed cotton out there. I know that place well. All right, Brian. Well, great to hear you, and glad you came by this evening. Over.
Okay, just want to say hello here, K5TUE.
Back to you, Jay, K5LYN. Thanks for letting me butt in.
Hey, Brian, just a second there, Jay. Brian, you're 25 over here in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Signal. Yeah, thank you for that. I talk to Rick over at Ruidoso quite often. I think I may have met him. Well, who have I got? This is KL7 Charlie Delta. My name is Mike. I'm in Ruidoso, but my normal QTH in the wintertime is New Braunfels, Texas. I have 2 stations, one here and one there, QSL. Okay, very good. All right, nice to meet you, Mike. Good signal over here, too. Okay, Jay, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Mike. All righty. Well, is there anyone else we've missed that would like to check in? Coming out.
N5 WJ.
Oh, there you go. Come on down, Jim.
Yeah. I was going to put my 820 on here, and I turned it on, listened to it, and it was so dead black noisy I couldn't hear y'all. I had to get on this radio where I had some filtration on my 890 and my Alpha. 73's on N5 WJ.
Okay. Well, I understand. I usually have that problem myself. All righty. Thank you, Jim, for checking in. Anyone else?
WA5EDX.
Oh, hello, Byron. Come on down.
Hey, I guess that's Rusty. Just running the old Kenwood TS830 tonight. Sorry to get in here so late. Hope everybody's had a great day and have a great Memorial Day weekend coming up. So, back to you. Have a good weekend, WA5EDX.
Okay, Byron. No, this is Jay, actually. That's what happens when I've still got some pork chop in my mouth. Anyway, No, good to hear you, Byron. Sounding great. Thanks for checking in. All right, one more time. Anybody else?
Oh, yeah, that sounds like Jay. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I shouldn't, well, anyway, never mind. Okay, Rusty, I'm going to tell everybody how much I appreciate their participation this evening. Then I'm going to pass it down to you, and you can do what you got to do.
Okay, Jay. We'll do that. And say hello to Brian out there to you. Anyway, all right, this is WK5R, and it'll be the last round here for the Boat Anchors Net. If I don't get anybody here very quickly, I'll shut her down. Anybody out there want to check in before we shut her down? Come now. All right, last call, anybody anywhere for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. Come now. Well, it sounds like they might have done it. I thank everybody for checking in. Myself, Jay, and Lynn, we all know what it takes to get these old rigs on air and keep them going. We'll look for y'all next week. So this is WK5R. Now closing this section of the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse. WK5R.
Great net, K5LYN 73s.